Welcome to the Emotional and Mental Health Summit. My name is Dolores Andrew Gavin and I'm your host. I am the founder of The Mythic Fairy, a dedicated children's website for all things emotional health. I'm also the author of 2 children's books, an empowerment and assertive coach, a podcaster, blogger and mum. I have 2 reasons, I guess, for doing this summit and bringing it together. And firstly, it's to support the whole conversation that's already there around emotional and mental health. And secondly, I also want to bring tools to people to show them that, I suppose, firstly, that there are tools that we can use to help us, whether that be learning something like emotional freedom technique or helping ourselves to step into our power by finding our voice. There are lots of different tools I'll share on this summit from the speakers that will be speaking. And also, of course, you also will hear from people who have been on a journey themselves. So it's always good to know that we're not alone and that others have travelled the same path possibly as ourselves. I hope that you enjoy the summit. Thanks for being here. Welcome back to the Emotional and Mental Health Summit. I have a lovely interview on this evening for you, and it's really for people that want to incorporate music into their life a little bit more. And who better than to talk about this topic than Catherine Dunphy. She's the founder of Magic of Music, which is a dynamic music program that she takes to schools as well as working with individuals. Catherine, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much, Dolores. It's a pleasure to be here, delighted to be asked, and really happy to be part of such an amazing summit, which is going to bring benefits to so many people around the country and indeed around the world. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Catherine. And you're right like that. It's the tools, as we chatted about. It's given people. I'm supporting the mental health conversation, but mostly I'm introducing people to tools. And I think music really, we know and we can feel the benefits when we listen to our favorite song, and it just takes us to a different place maybe. And I know I can get lost in music, love Zumba, and can go into my own little zone. Maybe you can tell us what it is about music that actually can do that for us and take us away maybe from an actual upheaval we may be in our lives.
Yeah, the thing about it is music is one of those resources that's it's there for everybody. And people do know it, like you've just said there, you go into your own zone with Zumba, and people get launched back in time immediately when they hear a song from their teenage years. They're automatically transported back to a place in time like nothing else except maybe smell could do, bring you back to a certain place in a room immediately. Music can do that, and we're all aware of that, whether it's on a conscious or subconscious level. I suppose the key to using music as a tool in our life is to up our awareness of that. And that's kind of my job, I suppose, and that's what my work is, and that's what I love doing, is showing people music isn't out there for the elite people and the lucky people who have been given music lessons or learn an instrument from a very young age, or who are naturally talented at music. And that's the misconception around music, is that a person needs to have this formal instruction in music or have this benefit or this natural talent from a very young age or from whatever age to actually appreciate the benefits. It's so much more simple than that, and that's what we do in Magic Music. We go in first day and go, it's wonderful you're learning an instrument, but this is for everybody. This is for the child with severe special needs. This is for the child who's severely traumatized. This is for the very bright child who isn't able to express themselves because they have a shyness to go like this. This is for everybody. And this is a natural thing in our body. It's the most free tool you'll ever have in your life. It's there. It's all around you. The difficulty is that out of lack of awareness or full awareness, people don't harness the tool in order to make it work for them in a way that will be beneficial, to bring them actively and I suppose consciously from a place that might be difficult in their life to a place that would just bring them to a comfort zone. And I suppose I'll go more into that. But just to say, everybody is musical, and that's my big message. Lesson 1, Magic Music. The first thing I say in my special needs workshop, first thing I say in my corporate team building, we are all musical. Everybody is musical. You think something is tone deaf, Who said it was tone deaf? I mean, any of the philosophers over the age, Aristotle, Plato, they will challenge you on, who says that's a table? Who says that's a chair? Who says that's out of tune? Somebody out there like years and years, hundreds of years ago said that's out of tune. So we go, that's out of tune. But no, but like that's your tune. It might be considered technically out of tune. But
I love it. Yes.
Yes.
I love it, Catherine. You're
in a Buddhist.
Yeah. Your enthusiasm as well. Sorry, we're getting a bit mixed here on the Wi-Fi. Your enthusiasm bubbles over. Because I know you personally as well. I'm delighted to call you a friend. Your enthusiasm for what you do is phenomenal. And like, that's great the way you started off that, because like piano lessons and other musical instrument lessons, I mean, not everybody can afford them. And, that is a huge start to the conversation to say that music is not just for the elite or for people that can afford it or people that can't afford it but still send their children. It's for everyone. And I'd love you to go more into the way that you work with your own program called The Magic of Music and how you bring that into schools and corporate.
So like I said, my first thing is that, and actually, and what we start is that the most important thing is to use the tool that we all have, and even if you have a disability around this, but that's to use the tool of listening. And it's to use the listening tool, not in the sense of hearing. Hearing is passive. Listening is a verb, it's active. And so basically what you're doing is you're challenging, you're like a muscle, that we're lazy listeners. We are naturally, adults, children alike, are lazy at our listening. So what happens is, like, we hear our favorite song, and I would challenge anyone like who's playing back this interview in 2 years' time, or who's listening to it tomorrow, or yourself listening now, I would challenge you to tell me right now what your favorite song is at the moment or in the world. My next question to you is, what instruments are playing in that song? I would challenge you to tell me how many instruments you actually know. So have you ever listened to that song? Or, do you hear the song? Do you let it wash over? So there's a difference, and there's levels and levels and levels of music, and people don't realize that's the difference between getting a full appreciation out of music and just tapping along the water, or getting in deep into the music. Because what you really want to do is you really want to get inside the mind of the composer who wrote down that music. What did they want the people around them to feel when they wrote that music down? And the only way to do it is like an onion. Peel the layers off. Listen and listen and listen. Listen for the emotion. Listen for the instruments. Listen for the tempo. Listen for unusual things. Listen for things that resonate, that don't. Right? Why did the composer put that? Think about it. And, as well as just going, oh, I remember that. Now, that's lovely, and it's an emotion that brings it. But when you peel it down, suddenly your level of appreciation goes a lot deeper. So the next time you go to a concert, even, you're listening, you're like, I hear the bass. You always heard the bass, but you didn't listen to the bass because the bass was heavy in the background. Hearing the bass is so much more, you can just feel it because that's the raw rhythm underneath. So they're the kind of things that I expose to children and adults, and even people who come and work for Magic Music. I have some wonderful people on my team because we work around the whole country. We want to get to as many people as possible. This is so important. This is so good for everybody. And what we do is, I'm sitting down, and they've all done music degrees. This is my point. They've all done music degrees. They've all been doing piano or whatever it is for years. And I say, what's in that piece of music there? Name me 10 instruments in the last 10 seconds. And they're looking at me. They've done their work. They've done whatever. Unless they're in orchestras and constantly challenging themselves all the time, chances are they're at the same level as somebody else. And yet other people put them on a pedestal. So it's for all of us. So that's one of the things we do. And basically that's telling you, if you can learn how to listen properly, and even if you've got a disability around this, if you can find some way like vibrations and stuff like that, that's another form of listening for people with severe hearing difficulties. It doesn't exclude you. It's for there's another way to everything because we're dealing with that. The listen. So start there, and everybody, that's achievable for everybody. And that opens people's minds to, oh, I can do that, It's when we see a child go, and I'm like, listen to it, and for their little eyes, suddenly go, I see it, I hear it, Catherine, I got it, and I'm like, yes,
I love it.
Yeah.
So that's phenomenal. I'm actually thinking away here of my own favourite song of all time is
I knew
always
you
been,
were. I knew you were.
I know, Hold On Tight to Your Dreams by ELO. And I'm thinking, what instruments are in that? But I'm actually going to, and you know, every time I interview a speaker like that, I get a juicy nugget that I keep for myself as well. And that's actually, I think that we can really, I suppose, transfer that listening into any part of our lives then. And I know I have so many different questions and tangents I could go off in. But another thing that you did say as well is like about the vibration, because even in a music talent competition on telly, there was a girl on who was actually deaf, and I think it was Britain's Got Talent or something, one of those. And she stood up and sung from vibration, as you mentioned.
Vibration, yes. There's so many different technologies out there now. I mean, you know, well, I suppose technology in one way is taken away an awful lot of the raw stuff, but in another way for people with like disabilities like hearing, you know, and just special differences with people, this has like opened the world of sound to them and the benefits of sound healing and being able to participate, because the participation in a musical activity is so good for you. And so to be excluded from it because of a certain disability is awful. So these vibrations are brilliant. I mean, vibrations are good for all of us. Even people who hear properly, it lends another layer. There's another layer for you, but especially to open it up for people who otherwise wouldn't be able to participate in music, which is tragic because we are all inherently in here musical. From the age of the caveman onwards, on the cave paintings, they have painted their musical instruments. It's there along with the spears. So it was important to them to eat. Music was just as important because they only painted up the things that they needed to live. And they considered music up there with the arrow to kill the buffalo, whatever it was, to eat. Now that has to say something to us in this modern day of all the stuff we have around, you know?
Oh, wow, absolutely, Catherine. That's a wonderful point, actually. Just, you know, that music has always been there.
Yes. Yeah. And when people dip back into that rawness, because we all still have a connection back there to the caveman in lots of different ways. When you go back there, you know, that's one of those raw emotions deep in here that if you can access it, it's a natural healer. For anything that's going on, it also grounds you back in to what's important, because in this busy day to day and everything's bang, 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 we often lose sight of what do we actually need in our lives to live. We need food, we need air to breathe, we need water to drink, and music is another one of those things up there at the top of the pyramid of stuff that's good for you. You know, your PlayStation isn't one of those things. It's nice, or your mobile phone, great. But the music has always been there. And we need to look back at these lessons in order to live in society today. Because these are the things that people have to go back to now in order to get back in here. And that's where you need to be. So that's what I'm teaching the little children from this age onwards. Feel it, hear it, move to it. Because when you don't move to it, like the Western world, we sit still like this and we're taught this in choirs, don't move or you're out. I think in Africa they're like, woohoo! But in the Western world they're like this. That's not good for you.
Yeah,
you know, it's
so true.
Your body should be moving, should be feeling it here and releasing everything that needs to be released.
Oh, I love it. And you know, vibration is energy, and energy moves, and we're made of energy. So, you know, as you're saying that, I'm going, yeah, because one of the things I would actually do is a movement with a chakra dance. So yeah, I like that too. It's wonderful because music is one of the components I use, as you mentioned, smell as well earlier, because when we combine music with anything, movement, smell, I mean, it's a wonderful combination to get things moving, because isn't that what we're trying to do even with music, is to get rid of maybe even that fear of I'm not good enough to sing, or
Exactly.
any limiting belief we have around I'm tone deaf or whatever. Who cares? Move.
And they're great for those toning. I love those kind of toning workshops, because you just have to make a sound. It doesn't have to be in tune. It's not the choir mistress coming up and going, we will give you a tambourine because you're not there.
Yes.
It's not in tune. No, it's get it from here, and actually not from here, down in your tummy, so that it comes up through your body. And that's the other thing that I'm always teaching kids, is to breathe. And I'm sure you've had people on this summit talking about breathing, but music is a great way, especially toning or singing, to get you to go down there. We're so afraid of what's in our stomachs because our stomach is all the emotion. And yet music can make you go down to bring it out. And then your
Lovely.
body
Tell us a little
to
bit more about that, actually, if you wouldn't mind, because we haven't had an awful lot of talk about breathing. So if that's something that you'd like to give us a little sample, I would be thrilled to share.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, absolutely. Like, if I do any kind of singing stuff with people, I mean, basically what I'm doing is we're all caught up here.
So true.
Like I think, we don't want to go down here. Now, from a professional point of view, from a speaking or a singing point of view, being stuck here means that you're not using the full range of your vocal cords or anything else. And so you're not getting the sound that you want. Now, that's on at one level. Okay, that's a very, very low level. On another level, it means you're not accessing yourself. So what music is challenging you to do is go into yourself, to go right down deep. So what you do is you get the person, and I know you probably can't see on let's try and mix it, but get the child to put the hand here, and then put or the adult. This is great for adults, of course. I do this corporate workshop if we're going to do tone, and then put your hand here, and then challenge the person to breathe in, but not to move here. That nothing moves there, but your stomach should come right out, and then go. I still have not moved up here. And if you move up there, it's wrong. So if if your body does that, which naturally a lot of people do, they're afraid to go into their tummy because it brings it up. You know, music is a less invasive way. You know, when you go to a meditation class, they tell you to get down. Some people get really afraid straight away. If I say, you just need to make the note louder by going in your tummy, it's a very non-invasive way to get people to get in and get out. And then afterwards they feel so good and they're like, wow, I feel so much better once because they've got in to their emotional body in their tummy.
Yeah.
But I don't say that. And here's the other trick to the magic of music. We do the workshops without going into all this. We're talking technical now.
Yeah.
You don't need any of that stuff when you're talking to people because it scares the living life out of them. What you do is you do the exercise. You have the fun with the awareness of what it is you're doing. And then what happens is everybody feels a little bit better. But from the point of view of your listeners, and they're like, okay, we can't go to Catherine's workshop, or, you know, I'm here on my own now and I'm not feeling great and I want to get into my body. So we're here to talk about how you can do this, because this is for everybody. Yes, I do this professionally, but that doesn't make me any more musical than you or any better or up on a pedestal. No, it's just that I enjoy seeing people get in there with the music, and that's what I do. Everybody can do it, everybody. And that's the message. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Breathe.
Yes, breathe. And you know, when you talk about there going into the stomach, it's so true, because my I did an interview. Myself for the summit, I did a talk, should I say, and I talk a lot about chakras and the root voice, and the root voice being the voice that's actually down in the lower chakras like that, where sometimes we bypass that and we're afraid to. There's nothing wrong with it. And also the fact that, like, you know, if we have to speak or sing, we get butterflies in our tummy, which is an energetic reaction. And you hit that so perfectly when you said that we're afraid to go down into our emotional body in our tummy. It's so true. You know, I think that your talk about music is really gets people to realize the benefits of music, regardless of where we're at. And I think that's so wonderful that you've given us that tool, Catherine. Fair play to you.
Yeah, not at all, because that's what I said. And it's in a non-confrontational way, because we're all musical. So it's not like we're following an instruction. It's like your desire is to get down there, to get the note out. But what you're doing is you're also releasing so much more. And this is where it has the hormonal benefits, the chemical benefits, every benefit. Oh, it's just so many. Like, we could be here for hours and we still wouldn't get through it. But like, all I will say is just breathe in and then do tone. Tone is wonderful. Yeah, and if you're embarrassed,
so tell us what toning is. Okay, just say for someone that, you know, what is toning? If someone that has, you know, I wouldn't be a huge, you know, I know that it might be, you know, different notes, but for some people that might know anything about it, you might take us down to the very basics of what it is.
Okay, so here, for example, here's my comparator here. Here's my glockenspiel, okay? And this glockenspiel has different notes from, you know, which we find on piano or instruments in the human voice. This is one that most people have in their house if they've got children, because they buy those little xylophones or glockenspiels, and so they have them. So this isn't anything. Now, if we were going to do a formal music lesson and we were getting you ready, I would say to somebody, and I'd hit any kind of one, any note, doesn't matter, pick a color, pick your favorite color.
Lovely.
Make it basic, you know? So you resonate with green. So you hit green and you go, ooh. Now that's in tune, according to all these experts for hundreds and thousands of years, okay? But I might go, and the other person might go, ooh. That's fine, okay? So a tone is a sound that you make, hopefully coming from your tummy right up to your body. Now, if you start toning, chances are it starts here, and it'll be quiet. And when you build it up, what happens is it grows in strength, it grows in volume, it grows in feeling. And what you're not realizing is your whole body is growing along with it. So in a technical sense, they're tones, okay? But from I am standing in the middle of the field because I've been told I can't sing, but I want to tone. And I'm going to a workshop next week where they're toning. So now instead of being embarrassed, and when you get embarrassed by the way with toning, you tend not to be able to make any sound because your throat coat.
Absolutely. I know that one.
So you need to get over that. That's where you go down. If you go down, the cough suddenly disappears. Okay. And also take your brain out of it. Your brain prevents you. It's overthinking. Stop thinking about it. Open your mouth. Go into your stomach. And just make a sound. So you breathe down, and I don't know what sound's going to come out of my mouth now, and that's the best way to do it. So I'm going to go deep down. I'm going to go, oh. Now I'm going to go from here, and I'm going to show you the difference. So if I go from here, oh, and it's fine. And now I'm going to go down. Oh, and I can go on. And I can that sound again and again and again. But I might be a low singer, so I'd be down. Oh. Or I could be up really high. Ooh. But the longer you can do it for, the more you continue it, the repetition, this sense of calm comes over you. And it's like, it's the benefit of your ears hearing the sound. It's the benefit of you going into your stomach and then releasing, which we don't realize you're doing. And it's the continuation. It quietens the brain. The brain is going 100 miles an hour at a time. One tone continually over and over again is really good. It's the same with drumming. Same beat over and over and over. The continuation, it's just brings you to a different place. Get yourself a little bongo drum. They do them in Lidl's and Aldi for very, very cheap. Once a year, in you go. Good quality bongo drums, same as everything else in those stores. Good quality. And bang away on your drum. Wait till the house is quiet if you're embarrassed. Get a little rhythm. Play your favorite song. It doesn't matter whether you're in time with it. Who cares? Go along with it. Keep going with it. So good for you. And it's been proven. It's been scientifically proven. I'm saying this to you, but if you want to go and do the research on this, it's not just Catherine sitting here talking to Dolores, talking rubbish. There's scientific, I don't want to bore you with them. If you're that way inclined with your brain, go research it. There's Bitman, there's all these people, all these hospitals, they've hooked people up, all hooked up, and they've gauged the chemical reactions genuinely of the stress relief, of the release of good hormones like dopamine, stuff like that, from this kind of stuff. And this is the kind of stuff that you really want to get into if you're in a bad spot, you know, no way forward or whatever. These are the kind of stuff that you want to be able to turn to, because we all have it. You don't have to pay €50 to go to the doctor for this. You just have it inside you, you know.
Love it, Catherine. Yeah, I was looking for my drum there actually as I was looking around the room there, because I have a lovely drum, and you know, yeah. Anyway,
the talking drum.
Yeah, it's great. Oh my goodness, that's so wonderful. I really love that. Yeah. Sorry for talking to you there. I just what was I just going to say to you there about, like, that's great. So that's a tool for people, as you said, very importantly. Like, it's something that we have access to free, even if I suppose it's just even going on onto YouTube or onto whatever we have and finding a song that we resonate with.
Yeah, and this is my other piece of information I'd love to share with people, because we started off by saying music is for everybody, but we don't actually consciously realize. We sort of know. We know it makes us feel good when we hear a certain song. That song makes us excited. We know when we're in the nightclub and a song comes on, we go, woohoo, we want to dance. Oh, you know what? Now I just want to chill out and listen to that song. We know that. So why not take it and really consciously make this a tool for yourself? And it doesn't matter whether you're someone who suffers from down days, we all suffer from down days, but really down days, whether it's someone who's got a very stressful job and needs some way to cope with it, whether it's someone who's just got a busy lifestyle, everybody, regardless of what it is busy in this life. There is nobody alive right now that doesn't, you couldn't sit them down and say, do you have any time to decide? No, don't have any time. I'm so busy. It's so crazy. It's all whatever. Or it's just too much. We can't actually cope with this. Can't face it. So take music and actively do something about it. So what I would challenge you to do, like the benefits of technology is now we don't need to go out to the CD store or the record store and buy loads of stuff in order to access our songs. We have Spotify, we have YouTube, we have a million other things, that are online that we can go to. And we can find songs that we know over the years that we have liked. And especially with something like Spotify, go and create your song list, or iTunes, but that's a bit more expensive. Go and create playlists and make a conscious effort to have a playlist for when I feel sad, because it's okay to feel sad. And what you should really do when you feel sad is allow yourself to get into the emotion and work your way through without getting awfully down that it goes off. Music will allow you to explore that in a non-confrontational way through the sounds, that you can actually release the tears if you need to cry. No point suppressing it. I have the playlist that will allow the sadness to be manifested within the music and revel in it for that hour of whatever songs you've chosen. And then to bring you up in that, you've had the cry or whatever it is, not going to take 2 days. Go to your playlist that you've then created for the happy times, for an uplifting mood. Have 10, 20 more songs. Keep adding. Have your playlist out. So make a list. Happy days, sad times, love songs, emotional songs, dance songs, songs for the car, songs for sleep, songs for the morning, songs for whatever. Music, doesn't have to be songs, music, whatever, and throw them in. Keeping in mind that the most powerful pieces of music for you are connected to a memory. So when you're going through your hormonal changes in your teenage years, that's when you form really hardcore, or as that children's film Inside Out, where they have all those people. Yes. It's deadly, the core memories. When you're in teenage years, it's core memories after core memories, and you never forget that. They're ones that are the most powerful. Same as when you're a baby, those kind of core moments, and then after that, in your adult years, it's a big event will bring you back in, but just not as many. But start being aware of that, and then instead of just going, I loved that song or whatever, start throwing them into your playlist. Build them up. Don't sit down and go, I'm going to spend 3 days building my playlist. That's painful. You never do it.
Yeah.
Just create the playlist with a title, okay, with nothing in it. And as you hear something, throw it in. Stick it across into it. And slowly it'll build up. But then it means that, on the day when you're down, you're not going to feel like creating a playlist or go even looking on Spotify. You're just not going to have the energy to do it. What you need to do is it should be there, or it'd be lovely if it's there. There's no such thing as should. It'd be lovely if it's there. Press play. And,
that's great, Catherine. Yeah, and it's interesting that you talk about that if you're feeling sad, and I love that because that's it, going through, we have to go through the emotions. It's okay to feel all the emotions, especially sadness, as you say yourself, all of them, but sadness needs to be released. If we have sadness, long-term sadness, we really want to release it. It doesn't mean that we have to forget a memory about something. We still hold on to the memories we have, but we just want to get rid of the strong emotional charge that these emotions have on us. Now, grief is a different emotion. I think there's a process to go through, and it's a process we have to. But I do agree with you that going through them is great. So would you say to someone maybe that, let's say there's someone listening tonight feeling sad, and they're afraid maybe if they put on a sad list that they might go too deep into it. Would you say to people maybe try listen to the happy ones when you're sad, or do you think that it's a mixture of both, or is that just everyone's different?
Yeah, you see, this is the other thing about music. It's so subjective.
Yeah.
I suggest to you 10 different songs, and you it won't resonate with you, that kind of way. Or I'll say to you, when you're sad, or like what you just said there, play the sad music. Like you said, sometimes what you actually need is something different at that point in time. I know, over the years, if I've gone through heartache or losing somebody or whatever else, I like, I found it very therapeutic to listen to the song that I know is going to make me cry. And I listen to it on repeat. And I go through, it's almost like, it's just a cleansing or something. And I might do that for a year,
Yeah.
But that's personal. I do think, I think if you find yourself, sinking just too deep to the point that it's not helping anymore, it'd be great if you recognize it. And at that point in time, I would say that pieces of music that I would suggest, if I may, and there are pieces of music that have been proven to be beneficial regardless of where you are at that point in time. And the most powerful one, it has been proven scientifically and over the years, is Pachelbel's Canon. And I know I've talked to you about that before, Pachelbel's Canon, and I talked to all my children about it, all my adults about it, everything, because even though Pachelbel's Canon was composed in the 1690s, the magic 8 that Pachelbel used, those 8 things that are underneath the main instruments, which is the violin and the violas, underneath there are 8 chords. Don't worry if you don't know what that is. There are 8 sounds. Let's put it like in layman's terms, because this is for everybody. 8 sounds that are played again and again and again. According to my musician friends, 54 times, I think. Because anyone's...
Can you spell that for us, Catherine? Sorry, can you spell that word you're saying there?
So Pachelbel is the name of the composer.
Okay, what's his name?
Yeah, P-A-C-H-E-L.
P-A-C-H-E-L.
E-E-L.
P-E-L.
B-E-B.
B-E-L. I just want to share that with people because, yeah.
Then after that, put Canon, C-A-N-O-N,
yes,
because Canon is the format in which she wrote it in. But and this is the thing, it's Pachelbel's Canon in D. Don't worry about that business. Because if you have your little glockenspiel at home, even if it's only, most people have this, now this is a bigger one because this is a professional one, but even if it's only, as most people have, from this red one to this red one here, you can play Pachelbel's Canon in C. And basically it's all there. Those 8 notes are there. So you could have, let's say your child is quite anxious. This is great. You could play those 8 notes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this, especially for mums and stuff out there.
Lovely. Yes, please.
Even for yourself. Like, it will give you this, that lovely kind of a feel. But for the mums who want to bring music in to suit their babies, try it on your crying baby. It's like, it has a proven chemical effect. It releases dopamine in your system. Pachelbel's Canon. So anyway, so the first one is the small C here. And music is to do with letters. Don't worry about it if you don't know what that means. So we're going to give you the letters. We have the 8 letters of the magic 8. So the first one is C, the small C. The second one is then G. Okay, so you're going down to G. So you're going to go C, G. And the third one is the letter A. Okay, the fourth one is the letter E. The fifth one is the letter F. The sixth one is the other C, which is the big C on the other side. And then the seventh one is the green one, or the F again, because it could be a different color on your glockenspiel. And then the last one is the G. So again, it's C, G, and then you go to A, E, and then 6, 7 is down here. Oh, sorry, I forgot about 5. 5 is F, 6 is C, and then you're going back to F and finishing on G. And that's Pachelbel. I mean, it's so simple. But this man was a genius. I mean, he's the original one-hit wonder. He had a hit in the 1690s. And here's another interesting thing for people, because you might be a classical music fan. Now, to be honest, classical music, of all the different styles of music, has been the one that's been proven to have the most benefit to people. So I would advise people to play it for your babies, or play Pachelbel's Canon with them, or play it to them. Play the classical music. That's the one that's been most tested by doctors and scientists. In heart surgery, they're playing it. Brings down the blood pressure, brings down the respiratory lesson, brings down respiratory activity, brings down the heartbeat. And this is proof, once again, classical music, lovely, to just chill out. So, but Pachelbel's Canon in particular then has been stolen by composers over the years and applied to music, like rock music, reggae music, folk music, opera music, everything those 8. Right? Because
Those
they
8
work.
keys are used in a sort of a rhythm.
They're used in the notes, the tones, those 8 tones in that order. The order is very important.
The order
That
is
order,
important. Okay.
the order is important. When those 8 notes are used in that order, or those 8 sounds in that order, and they are by loads of people, it has an effect. And another link I would give you to that is a very funny comedian from America called Rob. I forget, he's a South American name. I don't know what it is. Sorry, Rob, out there. Don't know what it is. Look up YouTube, Pachelbel's rant. And R-A-N-T, as in he's ranting away about it, because he was a cellist. And the cellist in Pachelbel's canon, the person who plays the cello, that big one, plays those 8 notes 54 times. But what he does, it's very clever in that rant on YouTube, is he cites probably about 20 songs that are Pachelbel's canon. His point is, you don't realize it. I'm trying to escape Pachelbel's canon, but I can't, because every time I switch on the radio, there it is.
Wow.
So if you're not classical music, but you want that effect of Pachelbel's canon, listen to Pachelbel's rant and pick out some of those songs you like, and yeah, there you go, sound effects. So
well,
yeah,
Catherine,
there we go.
This is wonderful. I mean, oh my God, like I actually feel so uplifted in this call. It's amazing because it's, I think that's what just music does, and it's just another tool. I think that, and that's you've made my day sharing these wonderful things that people can do themselves. Now, but I would like you to share with people how could they work with you if they wanted to take it that one step further as well, because there's nothing like at times if we're really into something, and that's what I want. If people resonate with you, maybe they're a teacher and they'd like to talk to you about coming into their school, because I know you're a music teacher in schools, you bring your Magic of Music program there, but you also do corporate, so that's 2 different things. So let's take them individually, because corporate is big, and corporate well-being is something that's really being discussed a lot at the moment. Starting off with schools, what do you do for people, and how can people contact you?
Absolutely. I mean, that's where it originally started, because my background is teaching. I qualified as a music teacher, but I mean, I was on stage for my sport. Music has been in my life all the way along. So then I was a secondary school music teacher, primary school music teacher. So if teachers are listening to this and wondering, the benefits in the classroom, the whole program is designed around education and around having an objective and an effect at the end of it, with all of these things in mind. So it's very easy from a teaching point of view to go onto my website, themagicofmusic.ie, for a start. My Facebook page is very popular. Go to the Magic of Music Ireland, because there's Magic of Music like all over the world. But if you go into Ireland, I have all my links, my contact details. I have videos where you could go in and take a look at lessons with children to see would it fit with your children, or is it something you'd like to bring in.
Fantastic.
Yes, my email is Catherine@themagicofmusic.ie. Any inquiries, send them off, or info@themagicofmusic.ie. All of those things. So yes, I love going in. We don't just go into mainstream schools. We go to special schools, even smaller schools. We do one-off workshops. We do a series of workshops. Where we go into secondary schools, team building stuff. So the team building stuff at secondary level, and also mindfulness at secondary level, which has become a really big thing, because the teenagers are really stressed out, in secondary school nowadays with stuff more than what they were before. Yes. So they're recognizing the need for workshops that aren't academia to come on in like us. Go on to any of them, and be happy. And we travel the country, so no matter where you are, happy to get on a plane to the Bahamas either.
I bet you are.
Plane flight, I am there, big style. But yeah, no, seriously, if you can't get me there, do go onto the YouTube links. My whole thing is that I want the Magic of Music to touch as many people as possible, so that the Magic of Music will come into everybody's lives. So that's for the school work. Yes, the corporate stuff. Well, I was an events manager for years as well, and we always were trying to come up with new and innovative things to bring in for team building. So that, once again, my qualifications are around that as well, experiences around that, and the stress levels at work are through the roofs. And this, like, all I've talked about in this interview is how it's so good for you. So if your company is looking for a mindfulness thing with a difference, because I don't think companies have quite tapped into this yet. I think there's a bit of a suspicion it might be too loud or too airy-fairy, but also the people who are booking it tend to have their own, like their little things around music. I'm not very good and I'm not going to embarrass myself in front of you.
Yeah, so true.
I've been bad at the drumming, so let's not get it in. So listen to my interview with Dolores and realize that no, it's not. It doesn't work that way. So we do drumming workshops, samba drumming. We do, stuff with the bells, a Pachelbel's canon, talking through things like Spotify lists, even showing people how to compile that because some people don't know. So we spend time doing whatever's most beneficial for the people in your company. So yeah, like loads of stuff. There's loads of opportunity. But you'll catch me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, my website, and happy to send you off emails. And everything is The Magic of Music Ireland, except for my website, which is just The Magic of Music.
That's great. And I did speak to Mary Finn, one of the speakers, and she acts as a bridge between if somebody's out from a job for a long time due to illness or whatever. She works with their employer and the employee to build this bridge and to make it kind of a safe place to go back where the whole, the whole team know the expectations, etc. And Mary's also, she does workshops on well-being in the work. And I just think that this conversation really complements that kind of an approach that Mary does as well, because all these things are so beneficial because we spend so much time, so much part of our life at work. And, coming from one stress back to maybe if we have kids and getting dinners ready. And it's as you said at the start, life is so fast paced. Wouldn't it be so wonderful if more companies, did embrace something like music in the workforce? I know I worked in Nortel Networks in Galway years ago, and one thing in the finance department, there was always fresh flowers left on our desk every Monday morning. That was Liam Blewett, the wonderful Liam Blewett. It's small touches like that, I think, that can really uplift the whole environment, because I think you feel cared for and there's connections built between employers and employees. So I think what you offer the corporate world is phenomenal.
And also what I do then in relation to that, actually glad you brought up that point, the flowers on the desk. It's something that we're trying to, highlight to employers as well. And I do bring it into my corporate workshops and also with my schools when I'm giving in service to teachers, because I do give in services to teachers to carry on this work themselves. So anyone who wants me to come in and deal with their staff in schools, I do that.
Brilliant.
It's music, not just this thing where Catherine comes in or someone comes in, does a music workshop, and then you're left to your own device. Make your environment and music, make it as natural as it is in your body. So have classical music playing at work. Workforces who have embraced this, it has been proven that the employees have been more creative, have been more productive, and this is actually they produce more money for the company rather than it being a distraction. So this is something that people should really think about. And as you said, we spend so much time at work. Wouldn't it be lovely if we could bring this powerful tool that we just have at our fingertips and make it something that benefits the big corporate people, which is money? Hello, do you know what I mean? So. Yeah.
Absolutely, works both ways. And you also, Catherine, you run summer courses for teachers as well. Is that something as well that you want to just give a little shout out to as well, so that people know everything that you do?
So yeah, no, I run in services all year round for teachers in the education centres around the country. And then in the summertime, we have particularly intense ones, 5 days, ones in a row. Teachers can benefit from course days during the year in relation to these. But the main thing is that during those 5 days, the material that I'll give you will give you 2 to 3 years of music with any level whatsoever, from primary to secondary. It all crosses on over. And that's the other thing. The tools that I will give you are for children and adults of all ages. They're not exclusive of anyone. That's really important. So I do them. I have an online course as well. We're not running it this summer because we're concentrating on the face-to-face ones. But actually, I'm hoping that the online one won't be just, in the summertime, that it's going to be all year round, because this is something people need to access all year round. So, yeah.
Sure. Oh, my goodness, Catherine, you have uplifted me. And I'm not just saying that. It's really great. And I'm really going to have a different, view as well. I'm going to become a more active listener to music for sure. And I'm definitely going to go create a Spotify list. I must sign up for Spotify, actually. I'm on iTunes, but I must sign up for Spotify. Catherine, you've been an absolute pleasure. And really, you brought so much benefit to the summit. So many tools, I guess, that we don't think about, not necessarily. We may think of of how, you know, the ones we have to spend money on, as you say all the time. And whilst we can, we might want to go out and buy an instrument or a drum. You have told us how to go inwards, which where a lot of the magic happens, going within first to bring up our breath from our root voice, from our tummy. And that's been phenomenal. Catherine, is there anything you'd like to leave us with?
No, just have fun, guys.
Have fun.
Have fun. You know, just use it. Use the tools of music, and smile a lot, you know, just, smile even when you don't feel like smiling, and music helps you do that.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Catherine, thank you so much again. Delighted to have had you on, and I look forward to connecting with you again in the future.
Take care, Dolores.
See ya.